Once upon a time in the ancient world, in a land where gods and mortals intertwined, there was a powerful city called Troy. This city was renowned for its towering walls and the bravery of its people, ruled by the wise King Priam and defended by the noble Prince Hector. But Troy's fate would be sealed by a single act of passion and betrayal. It all began when Paris, the young prince of Troy, was promised the love of the most beautiful woman in the world by the goddess Aphrodite. That woman was Helen, the queen of Sparta, already married to King Menelaus. Paris, blinded by desire, stole Helen away from her husband and brought her to Troy. This act of abduction was an insult that Menelaus could not ignore, and it sparked a firestorm of anger across Greece. United under the leadership of Menelaus's brother, Agamemnon, the kings of Greece rallied their armies and set sail for Troy, determined to bring Helen back and punish the city for its audacity. Thus began the Trojan War, a conflict that would rage for 10 long years. Despite the heroics of the Greek warriors, including the mighty Achilles, and the relentless siege of the city, Troy's formidable walls held strong. The Greeks, growing weary and desperate, found themselves at a stalemate. The war seemed unwinnable, and the hope of victory began to fade. It was then that Odysseus, the clever and cunning king of Ithaca, devised a plan that would change the course of the war. He proposed building a gigantic wooden horse, hollowed out to conceal a select group of the best Greek warriors. The Greeks would then pretend to abandon their siege, leaving the horse as a gift to the gods and a symbol of their surrender. The plan was set in motion. The Greeks built the enormous horse with great care, making it a sight to behold. Then, they burned their camps, boarded their ships, and sailed away, disappearing from the shores of Troy, but only just out of sight. They waited, hidden, for night to fall. When the Trojans discovered the deserted battlefield and the massive wooden horse left behind, they were overjoyed. The war was over, or so they believed. They saw the horse as a divine offering, a sign of their victory. Despite the warnings of the prophetess Cassandra, who foresaw the doom hidden within, the Trojans decided to bring the horse into their city. They tore down part of their walls and, with great effort, dragged the giant horse into the heart of Troy. That night, the city erupted in celebration. The Trojans feasted and rejoiced, believing they had finally triumphed over the Greeks. But as the city slept, the Greek warriors hidden inside the horse quietly emerged. They slipped through the silent streets, killing the guards and opening the gates of Troy. Outside, the Greek army, which had secretly returned under the cover of darkness, stormed into the city. In a single night, Troy, the once impregnable city, was brought to its knees. Fires blazed as the Greeks unleashed their fury, sacking the city, slaughtering its people, and taking what they could. The walls of Troy, which had stood strong for so long, crumbled under the weight of betrayal. Helen was taken back to Greece, and the spoils of Troy were divided among the victors. But even in victory, there was a sense of sorrow. The cost of the war had been immense, with countless lives lost on both sides. The fall of Troy, with its heroes, gods, and tragic downfall, was passed down through the ages, a tale of warning and wonder that continues to captivate its audience. To this day, the tale of the Trojan horse reminds us that even the strongest defenses can fall to cleverness and deceit, and that we must not be complacent in face of victories.